have two different bottles that we're going to be using for the stream sampling. We have this 177 milliliter HDPE Nalgene bottle, this translucent bottle, which is used for our nutrient collecting for total phosphorus and total nitrogen. And then we have this milliliter sterile, and sterile is very important, bacteria bottle, which will be used to collect E. coli samples at the same location. When labeling, we use these pre-labels on the nutrient sample. These are water-resistant labels, and they have a certain amount of information on them. So as you can see, they have the date, they have the military time, they have the collectors, the initials for who is collecting the samples, and then the site location. The site location is very important. So this is Beaver Dam Lake Watershed Site 1 over here. And usually I like to take the labels out first, kind of lay them on the table, cut them out right on the table as well, or right on the labels on the table, and then stick them onto the bottom. For these E. coli samples, the first thing to do before you even label them is to check to make sure the seal is not broken. If the seal is broken, that could indicate that there's some contamination in there, and the bacteria analysis is very sensitive. So we want to make sure that we're not in any bottles where the seal is broken. Environmental Lab Works has its own pre-printed label and pre-printed labels that you need to fill out, and there will be templates available to look at for filling it out. But basically it has the same type of information. You have the date, you have the sample site, the analysis, and you'll fill out the time as well, and then also the collector. Once you're done filling out all these samples, or filling out the labels, you're going to place it in a cooler with ice packs in it. So there's some ice packs in the bottom here. We already have some pre-labeled samples here. And just place them in and you're ready to go sample.
Perfect, yeah, so as you can see, just kind of positioning myself to where I'm in. Okay, you don't have to do this. You know, if you have boots you can get in the center, that's fine, but if you want to like go over there where it's flowing, it's fine. It's all going to be generally the same water. It's not that big of a deal. So with this meter, I'm just kind of putting it in the water here. This one I have to, well, since the water's not too deep, kind of tilt it a little bit so it gets, right there. So just to let it calibrate for a second. And this measures temperature, conductivity, percent oxygen saturation, concentration, salinity. Chlorophyll as well, even though chlorophyll is not really.
But this conductivity in this depth.
450.
Huh. Is there a minimum depth you need? Like just over the probe, like
just
4 inches?
Submerge the probes. Because the probes are here. So you just need about this much. Yeah. Right, that's pretty much it for this one.
We get a good one on film.
So now we're on to the collection portion. So we'll start with the nutrient sample. So with this sample, we're going to do 3 rinses, and then we're going to actually collect the sample. So the important part here, probably the most important part, is when you open the cap, do not touch the inside of the cap or the inside of the bottle. You don't have to wear gloves, but as long as you don't touch the inside, you're fine. So I'm going to take the bottle, submerge it. You can put it halfway under, you can put it all the way under. Just don't touch the bottom of the stream. That's important. So we take one, and then when I dump this out for my first rinse, I'm dumping it downstream. So you're not impacting any of the water that's coming in, because you have this fresh new water coming in that you want to sample. And the second one, we'll swirl, dump. Third, swirl, dump. Now you're going to collect it. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to take your cap, just rinse it in the water. Now you're going to freeze the sample, so you can dump this headspace out just a little bit, or dump the water out a little bit just to get it a little bit of headspace there. Cap it, and that's your sample. We'll set this down here for a second, and then we'll do the E. coli. So with the E. coli sample, this is the time to break the seal. Remember, same thing with the nutrient bottle, do not touch the inside of the cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the cap up, and I'm going to do 1 scoop of water, and then cap it up pretty quickly. There you go. Now, there's a small line on here that says 100 milliliters. It is very important to always go above that line. You don't have to go all the way to the top, but it has to be more than 100 milliliters, or the lab will not analyze it. And that's it. Just make sure that you are in front, or you are collecting samples from for the water receiving, and you are downstream of wherever you're collecting. So no collecting like this, no collecting over here, because then you're going to get all the muck and everything else in your sample, which is not representative of what the water, the chemistry of the water actually is. So, it's good.